serious survivor here. And today I wanted to talk about the real threat of nuclear war coming up. So, are you making full use of your savings? Think of the times you've yearned for better returns. After real inflation, charges, and taxes, are you even making a profit? With food, clothing, and rent all more than doubling over the last 10 years, you need to do something different. Gambling on Robinhood or other stocks might lose you the lot. And like thousands of others, you want to retire stress-free. A precious metals IRA with Noble Gold could be the answer. And this month, Noble Gold is gifting a genuine, rare Carson City minted Morgan silver dollar with every qualifying IRA or 401k. These coins were around when an ounce of silver was worth $1, and 1893 example in mint condition is now worth more than $3,250. That's a staggering increase of 325,000%. That's a return of over 2,500% a year. This is the power of long-term precious metals investing. So, get in touch with the experts at Noble Gold and talk through your options today. That's www.noblegoldinvestments.com, 877-646-5347. Call 877-646-5347. Again, that's www.noblegoldinvestments.com. We're seeing a lot of things going on in the world right now that just make it evident to us that there are some countries that will be willing to use nuclear weapons if the time were to come. And one of these countries is North Korea. We've seen that North Korea has been launching some short-range missiles here lately, and they're just testing the new administration to see how far they can push. And they're going to keep pushing until someone pushes back, and hopefully we can push back enough to keep them in check. But if something isn't done to keep them in check, then their weaponry will be a real direct threat to the United States and other allied nations. North Korea has made no secret about what they will do if they have the opportunity with those nukes. It's on their media, we've seen it on our media, and pretty much anywhere you look on the internet if you were to research that subject. Now, if we combine this with their neighbors, China was number 3 in the world for the number of nuclear weapons they had stockpiled, and it was in the hundreds. It's estimated that the 300 nuclear weapons that they reported owning has grown significantly. And with countries like this expanding their nuclear production while ours is actually being curtailed, then this is giving them a distinct advantage with newer and better technology than the years-old missiles that we still have stockpiled. And with missile technology increasing at an alarming rate, then one could assume that a large portion of these missiles are actually capable of avoiding detection or being shot down. We do have a strong missile defense system, but the question is, do we have enough to defend against multiple countries? And that's what we have to take into consideration when we look at a situation like this and begin to think about prepping for it. And this is a real threat. It's a real concern. We see that China has been ramping up their military production. Their military is huge. And they've been ramping up not just production on mass production scales, but with the technology that they've been utilizing and incorporate into their military developments. We see they are pushing through the South China Sea, and they're eventually going to take that entire area because I don't believe anybody's going to step in to stop them. When China and North Korea do decide to work together, then we're going to see two nations that are going to be basically out to stop us. North Korea wants to dominate us. North Korea makes no secret about that. China doesn't necessarily want to destroy us, but China wants to overtake us as the world's #1 superpower, and we already see they're doing it on the economic level. So the threat of nuclear war at this point in time, I think, is greater than it's ever been, and if we look at the doomsday clock right now, we'll see that it's close to midnight. And this is really concerning. The preparations we need to make for nuclear war are specific. They're specialized for, that type of scenario, and they don't carry over into many other scenarios. So some of this gear can be expensive to get, but it's worth the price. And we're going to look at that in more detail in a second video on this subject. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about where the threat seems to be coming from right now. And it's coming from North Korea and from China. A more direct threat from North Korea. This verbal threats from them. But from China, we've been seeing an ever-growing amount of aggression, not just towards the U.S., but towards other nations. This aggression is on an economic level and also on a military level. And this is going to lead somewhere. I mean, it has to. The two toughest kids on the block, at some point in time are going to sling down. And I hope that scenario does not happen, but it is very possible it will. And another country that could easily find themselves allied with those two is Iran. Iran is already allied with China, and Iran wants nuclear weapons, and they definitely make no secret about what they will do to Israel and the U.S. Those are the two targets they constantly mention. And they say death to the West, and they're going to annihilate us. If this country does ally with the other two, and that will most likely happen, then they have like the number 12 or number 11 army in the world. They have a very large military also. It's not a pushover country. And when you combine those three nations together, especially with the nuclear arsenal that's been developed, this is a very concerning situation. So just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. And I just wanted to mention, I'm going to have a part 2 of this video about things we need to consider and things we need to prepare for this type of event. But I do believe with what we're seeing in the world, this is a distinct possibility. Well, thanks a lot for listening, everybody. I hope you have a great night. God bless. And for now, Serious Survivor, out.